the warning signs parents should look out for, and the practical ways to create balance at home. Hello, dear friends. Good evening. Welcome to today's episode of BMC Global Live Al-HILAL Health World, Nothing But Lifestyle. This is a talk show with the expert doctors of Al-HILAL hospitals and medical centers. In the last episode, we were discussing about screen time in children. In today's episode, we will continue the discussion on healthy screen habits, the warning signs parents should look out for, and the practical ways to create balance at home. And Dr. Sheju Thomas, the specialist pediatrician from Al-HILAL Hospital, Salmabad branch, is with us today. Doctor, welcome to the show.
Thank you so very much. I'm very happy to be here on the show.
And Doctor, when do parents realize that the screen use has become a problem? What are the signs they should watch out for?
I would like to explain that with an example. That see, whatever I'm talking about is not based on just what I have read. It's through experience. It's what we see in our daily lives, what we come across from parents who have children who are having problems with mobile addiction or that sort of problem. So I recently had a family come to me, and the mother was actually upset that her children have become emotionless. This is the word she used, emotionless. Why? Because there's so much of work happening in the house, them raising these many number of children, work happening in one corner, and her children, and they're not very, they're not teenagers even. They're small kids. 9-year-olds, 10-year-olds. They're not even bothered about what's happening in the house, how much of problems are happening in and around them. Is the work done around the house, the cooking being done, the washing being done, the cleaning being done, everything is being done. And the children just sit there and just watch the mother just go about the entire day through all the work, and the kids don't feel anything. This mother actually told me that they had somebody pass away in their family, one of their grandparents, and the kids have no emotional reaction to that. How did it happen? What happened?
They're not even bothered.
They're not even bothered about what's happened, So it's a very scary thing to realize that this is the kind of generation we are raising. Imagine our parents, at least for our parents, we are there. We are a generation who have seen all the way from bullock carts till flying cars. We know all this. But we are also a generation who respects our parents. We treat them basically like gods. Okay, so I think most of our people in our generation value parents. But what are we actually landing up into, we do not really know. Why? Because imagine our kids being so emotionally deprived, or so emotionless towards our parents. How are they going to react to us? What are we doing with our future is what we should be worried about. Imagine we are placing our lives into their hands. When we are sick or when we have problems walking, we are expecting them to hold our hand. What if they're not bothered? And so that is a point in life where it is very late. We cannot do anything. Now the most, the closest things you're going to see right now is violence, tantrums. If you take a mobile phone from a child who's constantly watching it, you will see very angry behavior, very violent tantrums taking place. That is when you realize that this has become an addiction and it is going to become a problem. And most of these children, they destroy things around the house. And some parents give the phone back and say, no, don't make all this problem. I'll give you the mobile phone back. What you're training your child to do is, you're not giving him any disciplinary action over there. You are actually telling them indirectly that, yes, you will get whatever you want in your life. You just make a tantrum, you'll get it. But do you think you'll get that in your life when you step outside the bubble that we have created? That is what we are all going to face right now. So before you see these signs, What we should be doing is we should be restricting their mobiles. We should be taking it out, and I pray that no parent gets to see those signs or symptoms which I have talked about, because it is see, we are all under a lot of stress at work, uh, in our daily lives, families, parents back home, everything is there, a lot of stress that we all undergo, and the last thing we need is our children also to become a burden for us. So start doing things early. Make discipline very important at home. Make it, as you know, no mobiles means no mobiles, should be very strictly followed. See, what I believe as a father, what I believe is, if I am paying for your education, your clothes, your food, everything that you have right now, then you better be listening to me also. So that is the rule that I tend to keep. It's not like that we need to have military rule at home, but it's that a certain amount of respect should come out from our children towards what we do. They should understand the kind of sacrifices we have made, the kind of problems we have in our daily lives, and that we are coming back to our family, our home, to be appreciated at least for what we do. And if we have children who are throwing tantrums at home when we come back from a stressful day at work, obviously it's going to turn the entire home into a mess. So yeah, we don't want those kind of things, so we keep it all aside. So yes, you will see tantrums, you will see a lot of violent behavior. You will see, if there are siblings who are using two phones, you will see differences of opinion. There will be sibling rivalry over there. A lot of fights happening because of the kind of likes. One person may like this band, the other person may like that band, and this fight keeps happening. It spreads into the family, and a lot of problems are happening. So yeah, so that's how it is. Violent tantrums are one of the most common things you will see when you take away a phone from a child.
Now you spoke about the tantrums. Now can you explain how can screen use affect the moods, tantrums and emotional regulation in children?
A child who is constantly stuck on the phone, like I said, I have talked about this earlier, the emotion part of it. A child whose dopamine level, we'll put a little bit of science also into it. Now, whenever we watch a good thing, whenever we watch or see a beautiful thing, our brain releases something called as dopamine. So this dopamine is like the good chemical, the feel good chemical. It makes us feel very nice, very pleasant about such things. Now, when a child goes through reels, now reels are not all nice. There are some horror reels, there are some funny reels, there are nice reels, there are sad reels, there are tragic reels that are happening. So their mood is constantly activated on and off. It's like your brain is releasing dopamine so often that finally your dopamine level itself starts to come down. Now research has also shown that children who are constantly on mobile phones have this thing called they require a higher set of reasons for gratification. Meaning, imagine earlier you give your child a small chocolate for his birthday, he'd be very, very happy. Right now, if you don't give at least a PS5, there's no happiness on their faces. It's a very simple example of what is actually happening right now. You require more to bring happiness to your children's lives, and their expectations are very, very high. You may be driving, for example, a Corolla, and your children want to drive a BMW, and if you're not driving a BMW, then you're in their bad books. So this is what it is. Gratification of what is the kind of feeling that they get, the happiness feeling, and for them to feel happy, they have very, very high expectations of parents. Many parents can do it, many parents cannot do it. So imagine the condition of those parents who cannot meet up to their children's expectations, rather than the children understanding that the father and the mother are both of them are working so hard to make ends meet, and that's the reason why this is not happening. Children are like, no, my parents are useless. No, there are actually children who think like that. I've actually come across children who actually told me that their parents are useless, and I would be like, my God, what is this world turning into? If it's scary as to what this world is turning into because of children like that. So that is how tantrums and this easy gratification process happens in children. They are not worried about what people think about them. They have been taught that my emotion is the only thing that matters. What others think about me, I'm not bothered, that sort of thing. But that is okay if you're living in a bubble. But when you're living in a community, everything matters. What's around you matters. The kind of impact you make on other people matters. Then how they view you matters. So all this is lost when children are stuck on their phones in their imaginary world. Well, that's very, very important actually.
How can we set healthy boundaries without constant conflict?
Healthy boundaries without conflicts, it's very difficult. But if you think back to what we have been through, the kind of families we were taught in, you take a dinner time for example. Most of the times maybe parents both are working, and the only time you get with the children, or schools are happening, the only time you get with the children are dinner times. During that time, there is not a single person who would not be talking. Your father is talking, mother is talking, kids are talking, all are talking. Now imagine right now what's happening. Everybody is on the dinner table and everybody has got their mobile phones. This is including the parents. This is not just for the kids. It's including the parents. They are constantly looking throughout the day what has happened in my social media, what is happening online. All this kind of things are going on. So what I would suggest to the parents is, first, be the perfect example for your children. How do you set boundaries? Stop using your mobiles as much as you can when you're at home. You have enough time to use your mobiles when you're at work, when you're traveling, when you're doing all sorts of stuff, you have your mobiles. But at least when you're at home with your children, please keep them aside. So by setting the perfect example for them, they can never question you. You have kids come and ask us, I'm not using the mobile, how come you're using? So why does that make me any less than you? These kind of questions children have started to ask. So it's important that we understand that we have to be role models for them. Keep your mobiles aside. There are some studies have said, put a box and put all the mobiles. Once you reach home, put all the mobiles in the box and just leave it there. Don't touch it. Okay, and especially during family gatherings and all that, please don't use these things. Involve the children in the days, what all happened during the day. How was it at school, how was it at work, these kind of things. So these are conflict. How do you avoid conflict? Conflict is by avoiding conflict is just by posing as a role model. When you yourself are not doing it, your children are going to see, okay, dad's not doing it, I'll also not do it. Now imagine if the dad is doing it, I can never tell my child to keep his mobile phone aside. So that is how we avoid this kind of thing. And then involving them in everything. Imagine as soon as the dinner's over, on the context of this dinner thing, as soon as the dinner's over, everybody gets up, walks off, washes their hand, mobile phone. And the mother is left to wash all the dishes. Sometimes not even the father. Now, what children should be doing is, as soon as they finish dinner, everybody go pick up their plates, wash the plates, finish chores around the house, then settle down. So involving children in every part of work that is done in the house, let it be something as small as just brooming the floor. Let it be something as small as folding the clothes, washing the the dishes after a dinner or a meal. See, all this is are some of the ways with which we can actually, avoid the conflict in the house, keep them busy, keep them involved, and most important of all, you are training your child to do a lot of things by himself or herself. A lot of time, we should always be thinking about what are we raising our children into. When they are 18, obviously they're going to go to colleges. There's an example I tell all the parents that I meet. At the age of 18, you're going to send your children to colleges and you're going to be wondering, oh my God, he does not know how to fold his clothes. Oh my God, he does not know how to even make one tea for himself. He does not know how to boil water for himself. How is he going to stay there alone? No, obviously one of the parents are going to go there, stay along with the children, or it's going to turn into a very big mess. Imagine a child who's been taught all this at a very early age. That is one less thing you have to think about. You don't have to be worried about what your child is going to eat, because you know that you have trained him to be perfectly nice. So it's all about when you send them outside your protective bubble, what they are going to become, what they are going to be. Are they going to become independent? Are they going to become dependent on anything and everything around them? Will they survive in this world that we are sending them out into? So it's very important. So avoiding conflicts, you can involve them in all the work in the house, make them do all the chores in the house, small things, big things, everything. And most important, be the role model. Keep your phones aside, and then you can instruct your children to keep them aside.
Now, can you speak about the effect of screen time on social skills and friendships?
Social skills and friendships, these are emotions or relationships that are lost in the social media. Most of the kids, if you ask them who is their best friend, small kids, if you ask them, they'll say, I have my best friend in class. I have two, three best friends and all that. You take older children, for example, their best friend may be on Instagram standing somewhere in, example, Antarctica. These kind of things are happening. Long distance friendships and those kind of things. There is no interaction between the people that you meet every day, because you're constantly involved in messaging and all that kind of stuff that's going on with people who are so far away from you and who you barely know. One side of it is that what criticism is that, no, you get to know the world better. No, there is no such thing like that. You first get to know the world around you rather than know the world that's so distant from you. So it's very important that you see the children of your class, to see those around you, you form friendships with them. So screen time is taking a lot of those relationships away, all those the meaningful friendships and relationships that we in our generation. I still have friends who have been in school. I still have them as my friends. I still keep calling them. They are very meaningful things, because we have a lot of time talking about what happened in school, the teachers in school, all the mischief we have done. But I don't think this generation of children are going to have those memories, because their time was mostly involved in media. It's just concentrating there. Likes, dislikes, all this is just going to be their topic of discussion. There's not going to be too much of relationships or meaningful relationships that have actually happened for this generation. I believe social media or all this digital time has taken out all these meaningful relationships in life out of our children's lives.
And Doctor, how does excessive screen use cause anxiety in children? And sometimes we hear children have low self-esteem.
Yeah. Now imagine you are seeing a reel of a very beautiful or a very handsome guy or a beautiful lady on, and obviously children are beautiful. They have their beauty in their own ways. but they compare themselves to these icons or these models who they see on these screens. The moment they feel like that, they instantly turn to things such as cosmetics to alter their beauty, to enhance their beauty. A lot of these chemical products are dangerous, have been found to be dangerous, that is there. So what you're doing by social media or these kind of reels and these kind of role models on digital media is you are actually lowering their self esteem. Every child who watches it feels like, I'm not as good looking as that particular person. I don't have so much of money as that particular person. I'm not driving that. I don't have this. I don't have that. So you're actually lowering the self-esteem, the confidence of these children that are actually growing up. That has a very big impact on their lives, their studies, their future, everything. So it's very important for children to keep away from such things. Always have to understand that beauty or your smartness does not come from just face value. It's about the kind of human being you are, and that is something that is not taught over the internet, or that is not portrayed by these people over the internet. So yeah, children should stay away from such things. Understand that their beauty is God given. Every child is distinctive. No two children are the same, and every creation is definitely beautiful, and they can just live with that as long as they don't concentrate much on enhancing themselves. They grow up with it, they live with it, and at one point of time they will understand that their success came because they stayed away from such things.
And doctor, what is your advice to the parents of children with ADHD, autism, and also children with learning disabilities regarding the screen time?
Yeah, see, a lot of these kind of disorders were actually there even before the screens came in, but now a lot of diseases mimicking this ADHD and learning disabilities come because of the screens. Okay, now the spectrum of diseases like ADHD, that's what they're called, a spectrum of diseases. Children have learning difficulties, children have problems socializing with. For them, there are some programs which are good. See, there's a lot of healthy digital screens, a lot of negative digital screens. This comes as part of the healthy digital media, where ADHD children are taught to interact. There are a lot of programs with interactive models on screen, where children learn to interact, and slowly they come out of the shell of that that point of uneasiness. They come out of it by slowly first interacting on the media and then practicing it outside. So yeah, there are some good programs and things which are going on media, which help children with ADHD, learning disabilities, come out of their disabilities basically. So those things are good, but as I said, they all are supervised. It's not like you are giving a child with ADHD just a phone to continuously go on. No, that is not going to help. It's all about supervision of such programs, even when you are giving such children.
And doctor, what is the one message you want our viewers to keep in mind after this talk show?
See, the year is about to end. We're going to enter into a very new year. A lot of resolutions. We all make a lot of resolutions. Maybe we'll keep it till the end of 2026. But as we enter into this new year, first, this is for the parents. I want every parent to understand that we are raising a set of children so that our life becomes happy when it is about to end. It's not that we want it to become a burden. So there are some decisions which have to be taken strictly right now on our side as well as for the sake of our children. One of them being this important message which I'm trying to put through this show is please restrict yourself, restrict your children to using digital media. Please don't think that these things are going to make them smarter. Of course, a little bit of smartness that's going to come, but at the price that they become inhumane, forget to the rest of the world, but to us. We don't want that happening. So put a lot of restrictions on that. Become role models for your children by not using too much, at least in front of them. Use it, but use it with moderation, so that your children know, okay, fine, it's okay, I don't need to use it. My dad has put this rule, or my mom has made this rule, and she's also doing the same thing. So parents, I would like you to start to do all those kind of things. For children, what you should understand is, a few years later, we are all not sure how soon or how long we have, but we are all going to go from this earth. We parents are going to leave. This world is going to be put into your hands, and we don't want to leave this world with a feeling that we have left our children helpless. We have left our children in the hands of the world who can, toss them around. This is not a very nice world as far as we have seen. It's cruel on the outside. So if my children do not know how to handle themselves, do not know how to handle a situation or anything like that, when we are gone, then it's very painful when we are leaving, right? So I want all children to understand that whatever we say, all these pediatricians, all these people are researching so much, trying to find out or the effects of all these screen time on your brain, your future. So understand that we are all saying this and doing these things just to make sure that you have a healthy life in the future. So always be grateful to your parents for everything that they are doing for you, because obviously it is not coming, money is not coming from the trees. Definitely it's all through hard work of every parent, be whoever it is. So children, always understand that these lessons, these talk shows are meant for your good. Listen, at least try to imbibe a little bit of it, maybe not all of it, but at least a little bit of it. Show small changes in your life, so that you don't make your parents' lives a lot more hell than it already is.
Thank you, Doctor.
Absolutely.
Thank you for sharing your valuable insights regarding screen time.
Absolutely.
Thank you once again.
Thank you so much for having me.
So viewers, from what doctor said now, we know that screen time is not harmful, but a balance is essential. I hope this episode is helpful. For more informative episodes, tune into BMC Global Live Al-HILAL Health World every Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Till we meet again next time with a new doctor and a new topic, this is Jasila Mujib signing off. Good night.